Alright. So, for your good performance in speaking test, there are certain things we call speaking rules. Speaking rules. So these are rules that express things you should do and things you should try to avoid. Rule number 1, always speak audibly. Always speak audibly. That's rule number 1. So you are strongly advised to ensure that whatever you say can be heard. So please always speak audibly. And one of the major reasons or importance of speaking audibly is because the conversation you're going to have with the examiner will be recorded. And when it's recorded, it will be re-evaluated or reassessed by another senior examiner if you request a remark of your speaking test. Maybe the previous score given to you was not convincing to you, wasn't satisfactory to you. You have the right to request a remark of your speaking test performance. You would have to make some payment for that. Now that remark will only be possible if the original session of your speaking test was recorded and your voice was audible. So they will pass it to another examiner to reassess. So in a situation where you didn't speak audibly in your previous test, right? Nothing will change and your money would just go for free. But once if you spoke audibly in the first contact, then if the reassessment or evaluation is conducted and the examiner gives you a little mark added to the one you had, your money will be returned back to you. Right? So that's why it's important to speak audibly, so that the examiner will hear you and the recording will also capture your expressions. Rule number 2, always keep eye contact with the examiner. Always keep eye contact with the examiner. So ensure you keep eye contact with your examiner while you speak. Another rule is never form an accent. Never form an accent. Don't begin to give what you don't have. Just be natural, be real. But ensure that your grammar, your pronunciations are all good. Next rule, ensure to articulate your point before speaking. Ensure to articulate your point before speaking. So don't just begin to speak out of anxiety or tension. Always articulate your points before speaking. So you need to think of what you want to say and how you want to say them before you begin to speak. And this has to be done within a split of seconds. It has to be done within a split of seconds because you don't have the luxury of time. Right? Next rule, do not rush to speak or to respond to a question that's unclear to you. Do not rush to respond or speak on a question that's unclear to you. So please, when a question is unclear to you, always ensure you find out whether what you heard is what was asked. Because at some point, when tension is so extreme, a question may be posed at you, the brain won't process it, and you just begin to speak. The examiner will be looking at you with a kind of stern look, meaning surprise or something is wrong somewhere.
So you sit one-on-one?
Yes. Yes, you will see the examiner. If it is physical, The examiner will sit in front of you. If it is virtual, you see the examiner on the screen. But it's live. So please, do not begin to speak or respond to a question that's unclear to you. Next rule. Feel free to request a repeat or a rephrasal of a question that's unclear to you. Feel free to request a repeat or a rephrasal of a question that's unclear to you. So when a question is unclear to you, it is your right. It is your right to tell the examiner, could you please rephrase the question in a simpler way? Or could you please repeat the question? So please always ensure that you request a repeat or a rephrasal of any question that's unclear to you. So you are sure that what you heard is what was asked. Could you please repeat the question, or could you please rephrase the question in a simpler way? Is that taken?
Yes, sir.
Next rule. Feel free to make use of natural fillers, but do not abuse them. Feel free to make use of natural fillers, but do not abuse them. So here are examples of natural fillers. How do we pronounce this guy? How do we pronounce this guy? Pardon? Pronounce? Pronounce?
So?
Pronounce? How do we pronounce this guy? Right. So this is pronounced as this is pronounced as right? Now, you know you can use these guys when you are speaking. Is that correct?
Yes, definitely.
You can use any of these guys when you speak. English conversation, you can use these guys. But you know you have your natural, your own native natural fillers. They are your own natural fillers, native natural fillers. Don't bring them in. Bring in the English. In what situation do we bring these guys in? In what situation?
Maybe if they throw a question, then you need some time to think.
When you want to buy a little time to think of the right thing to say or to remember the right word to use. That's when we use them. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Please do not abuse these guys. How do people abuse natural fillers? When they're asked questions, they feel they are introverted. They don't like to speak so much. They are people of little words. And because of that, they now begin to use natural fillers intermittently. Simple question, what's your name? Instead of you to say, thank you so much, my name's, then you say your name. You see someone abusing this guy by saying, thank you so much for this question. My name is Benedict Godwin. So you're not bringing it in unnecessarily. It will reduce the fluency of, it will reduce your fluency, how you speak. And that will drop your score. So only use them when necessary. Use them when it's necessary. Alright? Next rule. Always speak fluently. Always speak fluently. Always speak fluently. So please, this means you are expected to be fluent when you speak. So try as much as possible to be really fluent when you speak. Next rule. Feel free to make use of non-verbal communications but do not overuse them. Feel free to make use of non-verbal communications, but do not overuse them.
Of what?
Non-verbal communication. Feel free to make use of non-verbal communications, but do not overuse them. Do not overuse them. Taken?
Yes, sir.
Now, what do you understand by non-verbal communication? What does that mean? Non-verbal communication, what does that mean? So now look at this way. Look at it this way. Some non-verbal communications that we use, right? When you ask someone, do you know him? And you're like, non-verbal. I'm not saying a thing, but you can understand what I'm saying, right? Are you interested? Do you understand? Expressions you make without saying a word or a thing. So they can be facial gestures, body languages, reactions with your hands that pass communication or information to your listener. So you are free to use them, but do not overuse them because you are meant to speak. The reason this is even allowed is because there are certain persons that cannot communicate without doing that. Some people, if they don't touch you, they feel you are not getting what they're saying. So, but you don't need to touch your IELTS examiner. So just keep your hands to yourself. You can do whatever you want to do from where you are sitting. Alright? Next rule. Feel free to bring in some examples to buttress your point while speaking. Feel free to bring in some examples to buttress your point while speaking. Feel free to bring in some examples to buttress your point while speaking. So it's not just in writing text that you bring in illustrations or instances. Even in speaking text, you need to bring in certain examples to buttress what you're saying. You have it in your notes somewhere. Go back and you'll find it. Let's see whether you have it.
Please, no.
B-U-T-T-R-E-S-S. B-U-T-T-R-E-S-S. B-U-T-T-R-E-S-S.
Yeah, I think I am this yesterday.
I spelled it yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah. Let me open this mic.
So I think you
I
should
left
do
here.
some examples to address your point. That's all.
Yes, while speaking. Okay, another rule is ensure to use contractions and appropriate vocabularies. Ensure to bring in contractions and appropriate vocabularies while speaking.
Appropriate what?
Vocabularies while speaking. Then, next rule, and very importantly, is keep speaking until the examiner asks you another question. Keep speaking until the examiner asks you another question. So when a question is asked, please, you are expected to speak. You must avoid short answers. Avoid short answers. So you need to keep speaking until the examiner asks you another question. Alright, so these are some of the major rules in speaking tests that you need to work on and improve so much on. The listening test is divided into 3 parts. Part 1, which is called the introductory session. Part 2, which is the main speaking test, done using a paper called cue card. Then part 3 is the supporting or follow-up questions. Now, your speaking test lasts for 10 to 15 minutes maximum. 10 to 15 minutes, everything is done. Your speaking test can be a physical session, or it can be virtually arranged. So for the physical, you should expect to meet someone right in front of you, while for the virtual, you should expect to meet someone on a screen while the person is live waiting for you. On the day of your speaking test, you are expected to go with your means of ID, which has to be your international passport. If you don't go with it, you may not be attended to. You will not be attended to. So please don't forget that you must have your international passport handy throughout your IELTS tests. Okay, so let's begin. On the day of your speaking test, whether it is the physical session or the virtual arrangement, you should understand that your confidence must be 101% intact. Your confidence must be 101% intact. Because without confidence, you will most likely forget even your name. So you need to ensure you don't allow tension or anxiety to come in when you go for a speaking test. You have nothing to bother yourself about or for. It's just conversation. It's not even interview, conversation. So when you are asked a question, feel free and speak. In as much as you may not be 100% sure, they want to hear you speak. That's what is very basic in speaking test. So don't begin to form accents, don't begin to form yo, yeah, yo. Be very formal, yet bring in contractions. Right? Now your speaking test part 1, which is the introductory session. At this point, you're going to be asked questions bordering around yourself and your environment. So some of the questions that may come under this section are: Right. On the board are some of the questions that may be asked on the day of the exam under part 1. So to begin, let's look at the first question. Before that, the examiner must have introduced him or herself to you and also informed you about what you should call him or her. So the examiner will tell you that you might hear something like, this is the IELTS test held on this 18th day of April 2025. I'm going to be your IELTS examiner for today. My name is Benedict Eke. So the person will give you his or her name. The person might even go as far as telling you may call me Ben. So to begin, I'd like to let you know that our conversations will be recorded. I hope you're comfortable with that. Of course, yes. All right, please.
I will answer, of course, yes.
Yes, I am. Certainly, I am. Yeah, sure, I am. Well, however I want to respond to you. All right, and please feel free to make any inquiry or request in the course of this speaking test, okay? All right, so we're about to begin. Are you ready? Once you say yes, the recording will be out and the speaking test will begin. So the examiner would ask you, all right, so my name is Benedict Eke. What's your name, please? So the examiner is asking, what's your name? So what do, you want to identify or give the examiner what your name is. So you can simply say, my name is, then you say your name, or you can say, my name's, you say your name, or you can say, I am, then you say your name, or you can say, I am, then you say your name. Please, do we understand this?
Yeah, just your name. Keep it short.
Make a sentence and give your name. My name is, or my name's, or I am, or I am. Then say your full name. That's all. Say your full name the way it is captured on your international passport or means of ID. But you are not compelled to say it. You know, on your passport you have surname first, you have given names. You don't need to follow it that way. You can start with anyone, but make sure you capture the name on your passport. That's what is basic, right? So whichever you say is fine, but these ones are more preferable. The ones with contractions. Remember? But if you are not comfortable with them, you can choose anyone. Just express yourself. Then after saying your name, examiner would ask you, what can I call you? You can simply say, well, you can call me by my native name, Okay. You can call me by my nickname, CJ. You can call me by my English name, Ryan. You can call me by whatever thing you want to call. If I want to show off, the examiner would ask me, what can I call you? I can simply say, oh, thank you for that question. I'm popularly known as Benedict by my friends and family as well as my colleagues. But for the purpose of this exam and for ease of pronunciation, you can call me Ben. So you can see all the long expressions before saying, call me Ben.
Is it
So it's also
sir or ma?
No.
so all you said now is also
Right.
it's the past too, right?
Yes. What can I call you? I'm popularly called Benedict by my friends and family as well as my colleagues. But for the purpose of this exam and for ease of pronunciation, you can call me Ben. That's good. If you don't want to go through these long expressions, what can I call you? You can call me Ben, that's fine. Ben is fine. Or you can call me by my native name, give your native name. That's fine. Alright, so after that, the examiner will begin to address you by that name, and the examiner will go by, alright Ben, may I please take a look at your means of ID? That's your what?
International passport.
Your international passport. You bring your international passport and pass it to the examiner, and when you're passing it, you should say something that will synchronize with the action of giving. So when I'm giving, I'm saying, oh sure, you can have a look. You can take a look. Of course, here is my means of ID. Or yes,
Like
please.
land stream.
Yeah, no, just give and say you can take a look. You can, this is my means of ID. Or sure, here you go. Right? Don't say yes, you can have it. That means I dash you. Right? So just tell the examiner, oh sure, here you go, or yes please, here is my use of ID. Or, of course, you can take a look. Okay. So the examiner gets the passport from you, looks at it, looks at you, be sure that you are the same person, and, oh, alright Ben, you can keep that back. Then the examiner tells you, alright, please tell me Ben, where are you from? Where are you from? So at this point, I want to go deep, and I will say the name of my community. I'll talk about the local government, talk about the state, talk about the geographical location of my state.
What if somebody has never been there before?
Then talk about the country.
But at least you know.
If you fudge,
Sorry, sir, excuse me. What if the person hasn't been there before?
Then
Your
where?
place.
Their native, their origin.
It doesn't concern the examiner. You just tell the examiner where you know that you are from.
You mean you have not been to
Just tell the examiner where you are from.
There are many people in this world that have not been to their place.
So, please tell me, where are you from? Well, I'm from a small town called Kaba. Huh? Uh-huh. I'm from a small town called Kaba, in Kaba East local government area of Kogi State, located at the north central part of Nigeria. I'm from a popular village called Mboli, in Mboli local government area of Anambra State, located at the southeastern part of Nigeria. I hail from a cradle town called Oshun. Oshun is not the
Sorry.
It's Anambra from
southeastern part of Nigeria.
it's south.
Southeastern part of Nigeria.
Yeah, there is south in it. I thought it was eastern part.
Southeastern part of Nigeria.
Sir, please do my own.
Keribo
Yes, every eastern state.
is from south.
so as you may know,
Okay.
you make if you ask me this now. So now, I should say that I'm from Isiama. So what's the
I'm from Eziama, in Eziama North local government area of.
New?
No, Newi is local government.
I'm from Eziama in Nnewi local government area of Anambra State, located at the southeastern part of Nigeria. Just listen to me. I'm from Nnewi. I'm from Eziama in Nnewi local government area of Anambra State, which is located at the southeastern part of Nigeria. I'm from
Ikiri.
a small village called Ikiri in
Urewale local government.
Urewale local government area of
I don't know that one.
which state?
Oshun.
Of Osun State, located at the southwestern part of Nigeria.
Some that's from Kogi.
So now, like you said now, I'm from India, we located at, sorry, I'm from Isiama, I'm from Isiama, located at India
No.
local government.
I'm from Eziama in Nnewi local government area of Anambra. Eziama in Nnewi local government area of Anambra. It's located at
East,
southeastern part of
Southeastern part of Nigeria.
I'm from a small village called Ikiri in Gbadabra local government area of Osun State, located at the southwestern part of Nigeria. Taken?
Yes.
Alright, so build that and let it flow. Don't make it appear like a crammed piece of information you are giving. It has to flow because it's your place of origin. Then after that, examiner will tell you, could you please talk a little bit about Eziama? Then you begin to say, well, Eziama is a famous village that is known for business. We deal so much in parts, automobile parts, such as vehicles, machines, and so many other trading choices. And of course, we have an estimated population of over 20,000 people This includes both the Indians and migrants who have settled to do business in my community. Importantly, my community, being famous for trade, has registered a great number of wealthy individuals that are well recognized in the country. Some of these people I can cite to be the likes of Innocent, the owner of Innocent Vehicles or Motors. He's quite popular, not just in Nigeria, but in Africa as a whole and the globe and the world generally. Then we have this native delicacy called Ofonugu, which is called bitter soup in English. It's a native delicacy popularly enjoyed with fufu, which we call apple in my native language. It's made from cassava, right? So we serve this to people to show our hospitality. We also have a popular festival in my village called Iriji, which is the New Yam Festival in English. This festival attracts spectators from far and near, and it's usually a moment for families to have a little bonding time, as their family members from every part of the world would return to participate in that festival. My community is not all by itself. We have some neighboring villages around my community, and we are just about 30 minutes drive away from the city center of my state. I've talked about my community. So you want to build different ideas concerning your community, ranging from what is predominant, the occupation that is predominant. It may be farming, it may be trading, it may be anything. Talk about the estimated population, it may be 10,000, it may be 100,000. Talk about popular festival, your native delicacy. Talk about perhaps your neighboring villages, the proximity, nearness, or distance between your village and the city. So you just describe, you can talk a little bit about what has changed over time in your community, maybe due to development. Some traditional houses have been developed into modern edifices, right? So you need to describe your community, and after that, the examiner would ask you, so tell me please, what do you do? So when an examiner asks you what you do, it's either
Your occupation.
you are gainfully employed, or you are an entrepreneur. Or you are a student. So what do you do? Oh, thank you so much. Well, having studied medicine in the university, for about 6 years and came out with a good grade, I've been opportune to work for certain health facilities, for various health facilities. However, at the moment, I'm gainfully employed by the mentioned here.
So in my own case, what do I answer?
You are employed now, you are an entrepreneur. You are co-managing the business, right?
Yes.
So for that, what do you do?
Much.
Oh, thank you so much for this question. I am a business owner. I run a business owned by my husband and I.
I can say that.
Yes.
Because that entrepreneur, I'm not from
I am a business owner. I own and run business with my husband, right? Entrepreneur. Entrepreneur.
What's that?
Entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur. That's French.
Entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur.
And autre.
Alright, so this is for a business owner. Then what you do, thank you so much. I am a student. I have just graduated from high school or from secondary school. I'm actually looking to further my education. That's all. Alright, so examiner would ask you, so why did you go into that line of business? Or why did you go into that line of profession? Or what are you looking to study? So you want to establish why you went into that line of business, or why you ventured into that line of profession, or why you, or what you intend to study at the university. Right. So after expressing all of that, examiner would ask you a couple of questions that relate to society. So some of those questions might be,
So, in terms of what do you do? Explain me as a business person.
what do you do? I am a business owner.
Just that.
I own and run a business alongside my
No,
husband.
so it's like your drive.
What job do you do? As a business owner, I am into building materials ranging from tiles to roofing sheets to nails to painting materials and the likes. So I make sure that the materials are always imported and they are of great quality, so I'm able to maintain my standard of my business. And I also ensure that I get a list of my products or goods across the environment by advertising them or having a big post that would show what I am into. And I also distribute to my retailers as well as get contracts at building sites to make supplies. That's what you do. No, the job you do. The job you do.
No, I'm talking about your drive.
Why did you go into that line of business? You know why you went. I don't know why you went into building.
You marry me and put me inside.
So why did you go into that line of business? Well, coming from the Igbo tribe, right? We are known for business. So considering the fact that in life generally there are usually three major things that the people will always be in need of: clothing, accommodation, and food. So we decided to venture into accommodation, which is the building material, because everyone would need something to build. Everyone will need to build an accommodation, everyone needs to beautify their home, everyone needs to paint a new house, everyone needs to, so it's something that is a lifelong business and will have a trend. So you should look at it.
But in my experience, with one of the interview I did at that Czech Republic, at the interview for my school, for my admission. So after the exam now, they asked me a question. Even the examiner was even smiling, and I was even thinking that I'm making sense. Hope you understand what I'm saying. So the examiner was even smiling, laughing at me, like both of us was even laughing, that kind of thing. So that's what I'm saying. So within me, I was even thinking I was doing well. Like that within 3 or 5 days, so I received my result, which I fought the exam. So they said that I wasn't that audible, and so what I didn't make enough
Yes.
points exactly.
Yes. You didn't do research about it. You didn't do research. You didn't make, if you want to study abroad, it's not about your money. Every course that you have chosen to study, you need to do research about that course. Do research about the school. Do research about where the school is located. Is it does the school accept international students? What is the employability rate after studying that course? Do you understand me? Does the school have co-op? That is where you can enroll to be working while studying, right? To gain experience, to prepare you for main job. You need to do a lot of research about the school. Why did you choose that school? Does the weather is the weather similar to your native home or your home country's temperature? Is there security is there safety and security for international students? Or do you have racism or tribalism that is well recorded in that? So there are general research. It's a lot. It's a serious business.
They find out that they're gonna be laughing at you guys gonna be laughing that
That's professional. You don't want it to frown at you. They want you to feel calm.
Feel relaxed.
They need you to feel calm. That's a professional thing to do. When you go for IELTS speaking test, the examiner might just be looking at you. So that facial expression, you don't know whether it is for good or for bad.
At least I say, Igbo man, if you good, and I give a young person like this, you understand if at all Ocha will for something else. But on your Ocha, not get your Ocha here, sir. You can't be smiling, sir. Don't be his face like just if it was energy, that kind of thing. They're gonna be
Giving you the vibes.
that kind of vibes. You're gonna be feeling like you're getting what you're saying.
You're getting.
You're gonna.
You're getting.
So you're gonna be that.
You wonder. You're gonna.
No.
So what I'm saying, they are not supposed to begin to have some stern facial expressions. That would be unprofessional. It is normal for every examiner, visa officer to just focus on you, listen to you, and read meaning from what you're saying. So you don't expect them to say, oh, you're making a lot of sense, I like what you're saying. They won't do that. That's not what I like. Okay, so you're going to be asked questions button around societal issues. So you might be asked, please tell me, what's your dream car? Your dream car. So you want to talk about your dream car, you need to mention the product, the model, the color, the shape, why you love that car, what the interior should look like. You're going to cover all of that. Please tell me, how do you spend your weekends? How do you spend your weekends? So let me ask, when does weekend begin in your country?
Friday,
And end when?
Sunday,
Okay. When does weekend begin in your country?
Friday.
End when?
Sunday.
Sunday. When does it begin?
Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday. Okay. So weekend begins on Friday and ends on Saturday. Sunday is the first day of a new week.
okay.
It's not part of weekend. So you'll be asked, how do you spend your weekend? Have a question?
No.
How do you spend your weekend? First and foremost, weekend in my country begins. Weekend in my country begins on Fridays, right? So in most cases, a number of persons still go to work, but close earlier than the other days, while some others don't even go to work. That's why you hear such persons say TGIF, meaning thank God it's Friday. So they are excited about it. It's a time they begin to have some social life and time to begin to enjoy more rest, right? So for me, how I spend my weekends, you now begin. Talk about it from Friday, go into Saturday, and wind up at that point. That's all. Do you understand it?
That means in this case, one is expected to lie.
It's not about lie, it's about creating information.
We're not lying.
So you are not really lying at that point,
We are
because
creating
some
information.
questions may be things you may not have had any experience about, but you must say something about it. So in IELTS, you don't have an option of saying next please, no idea please. You must speak to every question asked, right? So you need to create an interesting conversation. So talk about your weekends and express yourself. You might also be asked, please tell me about your daily routine. Daily routine. So your daily routine begins from you waking up in the morning What time do you wake up in the morning? What do you do when you wake up? What do you do after that? What do you do after that? So you have to take the examiner through your daily routine from waking up till you go out, return, and retire back to bed. That's your daily routine. So you end by saying, these are my day runs from Monday to Friday.
Fridays.
These are my days run from Mondays to Fridays. My Saturdays and Sundays may vary because of being weekends. Alright, you may also be asked, please tell me what was your favorite toy while growing up as a child? What was your favorite toy while growing up as a child?
Also, the mobile phone.
So you create a favorite toy. Your toy, don't compare yourself to this generation. You had some toy at your own era. You had this plastic baby. Some were blue, some were red.
Yeah,
All these Barbie toys.
You remember?
okay. Yeah.
That sometimes you take your food and put in the mouth.
Yeah.
That was the toy at your own time. So you can create that as a toy, talk about the color, the shape, how you usually use rubber and, you know. So you talk about all of that. That's a toy. So don't compare now with then. Nobody will value that thing now. At some point, then they now added something at the in between the bumble. When you press it,
On the chest.
and some had white shoe with socks.
That's as if you too much.
So you need to create all of that.
Yeah, you make coin.
So talk about it as your favorite toy if you have nothing else. Use it as your favorite toy. If you,
Some toys in form of medical.
so anything that you want to use, that's perfect. You might also be asked, please tell me, did you enjoy eating chocolate while growing up as a child? Was there chocolate for you? Maybe no, right?
There was Mr. Goody Goody.
That
That was
wasn't
my time.
that wasn't the chocolate.
There was Mr. Goody
Yeah,
Goody.
There was, let me tell you, there was Chocomilo.
Yes, there was Chocomilo
Yes,
too.
Chocomilo.
There was Mr.
And
Goody
even
Goody.
there's something that we use puli puli. We match puli puli, put sugar.
Rabisco. So all of those things.
There was
Right?
only straw. Yes.
So you had a whole lot of that. So you don't allow the current generation to intimidate you. There were things like that at your own time, but they were not so luxurious. They were not so lavishing, extravagant like they have it now. You know now you have different types of stuff.
You had Barbie,
But then our own was just that.
Mr. Goody
You're cracking. There you go. That was what we had then, right? So you just need to picture yourself, talk about it, and you are good. IELTS is not concerned about whether what you're saying is true or not. But make sure you are confident. That's why I said initially, ensure that your confidence is 101%. Don't let it get shot for any reason. Then you may also be asked, which do you prefer, the olden days fashion or the modern fashion sense? So you choose which you prefer.
Simple and easy.
Do you understand this? Do you love, or how has technology improved the standard of living? How has technology improved the standard of living now? So you look at technology. What does that mean? Do you know? How has technology improved the standard of living? Who knows?
Yes.
How has? Yes, please.
Making communication.
Communication.
Easier, no more letter writing.
No more writing of letters.
Yeah.
What else?
No more walking town criers.
No more town criers. You can actually call the
Pass
people.
information.
It's an easy information access now.
Yeah.
There is more development for your kids to endeavor some things, to learn more.
Technology. Your home chores. Your home chores.
Yes.
So before you would carry a bucket of clothes in the stream, sit in the middle of the stream.
And pounding it.
You wash.
Oh, okay.
Before, Before you will go to the stream, before the stream, you would hit on a particular platform. You hit, then you
What are you
spray.
eating?
Clothes now.
Okay, clothes.
No, the clothes, how it was being washed then.
Yes.
You apply your soap, then you fold together,
Do you
chum,
not?
chum,
I
chum.
still do my grandma, so I give
Alright? So you did all of these. In fact, for those that were into breadfruit production, you would carry the breadfruit to the stream, put it in your basket, in
And
water, and you sieve until that stuff goes out. You even had to fetch water from the stream back home, but now because of technology, you don't need to go to any stream to wash. With your washer,
washing machine.
your washing machine, you don't even need to iron. You have washing machines that you set, it will wash, squeeze, dry, iron, fold, and bring out for you. You want to boil your food, you don't need to start looking for charcoal or wood.
gas.
You have microwave to warm it up. You want to cook for a week, you don't need to be waking up every day to cook fresh food. You cook and refrigerate. You want to mop before it was, you will kneel down with your rag, you are mopping, you are moving backward. You are moving, but now,
Have your mom.
So you can express all of that.
speaking tests should give you your highest point because it is something you should feel free to express. It's not an interview, it's a conversation.
There's carrier now for babies. Back
There's
then,
carrier before.
Yes.
You will carry one here, put one on the back, and you are carrying your food. So a whole lot has changed. Before, you wouldn't know when it's 6 p.m. until one leaf will come out in the farm.
or the sun. You have to know this.
There's one leaf, there's one particular plant. Once it comes out, you know it's 6 p.m. You start packing.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Or those that are good with the weather.
You will pack. There's a particular, once it comes out, we know that it's 6 p.m. Everybody needs to pack. But now,
You have the wrist.
you have your wristwatch. So a whole lot.
But that time there used to be wristwatch.
No, there wasn't. People check the weather.
A watch repairer before he died.
Don't
There was
worry.
a watch.
I know there was. How many people afforded watch?
Okay.
How many people?
You know those slaves of the white men.
How many people afforded wristwatches then? And the wristwatches you're talking about,
Especially the
the wall clock, there's one that has tongue to ring.
So I remember again there was a black and white TV. The richest
And once it
man-
is 12, you hear Ghana.
Ghana.
12 times.
all of that.
There was
Right?
black and white TV. The richest man is the one that will buy the black and white TV. Everybody will go to the window like this and be watching. And be watching.
Your, I don't know, your own black and white TV, this is what mine looks like.
Sir, you call
It has-
there's another middle one.
It had cover.
God bless
Yes.
you. It has zip line.
We don't
Then
have-
here-
Go to people that have here.
Then here, you had things you can use to turn.
Uh,
Then you draw the antenna here. Draw the antenna here. We had that. Television that time was like carbon, big box.
The biggest man in
You understand? At some point, because there was nobody to repair it, instead of showing white and black, you'll be seeing yellow something.
It will be wavering.
You will come to the side and hit
it.
it. Even at that, even though that it has moved away from black and white, it's now giving you yellow color. You still have that. You have that pride. You go to the window. Leave my house. You will tell the children.
Get out.
You didn't give me
go. I swear, they did that to me.
You didn't give me kuli. You think you are wicked. I'll kill you.
I asked for bread yesterday. You did not give me one.
Oh.
No.
You know all of that.
Come and see your daddy.
Daddy, oh.
I'll be the tear. Come on,
So for that, the invention of technology has helped a whole lot. You remember before you will fan yourself until you are weak.
Your hands
As in,
said
you
go
find yourself
down.
and become weak. But now, you see ladies carrying something.
Small fan.
Simple, right? So those are ways technology has made life very fair this time. Examiner might also ask you, what are the importance of wristwatches now? The importance of wristwatches. So one, wristwatches can help you to store information. I hope you're aware.
Really?
Sure.
Yes. Examiner might ask you that question. Can wristwatches keep memories? That's the way they will paraphrase it. Can wristwatches keep memories for the future? Yes. How? Some smartwatches can take photos.
Exactly.
You know, I series wristwatches. They can take photographs. They can record videos. They can be connected to your internet, your phone, and they will take. You read your messages from your phone. You can take calls from your phone, from your wristwatch. Yes.
No, this is one.
Okay, like that. You can pick your calls from your phone and from your watch. When your phone is far away, pick hello, good morning, and you can hear. So some wristwatches can even take your heartbeats. When it's
Check your health condition.
they will check your blood pressure. Some wristwatches can keep record of your road walk, your exercise. A whole lot. So you need to see why IELTS is broad. You need to broaden your knowledge so that you can respond to certain questions. Right? You might also be asked, why do people travel abroad? Why? Why do people travel abroad? For education, for medical attention,
For vacation.
for vacation.
Tourists.
If you mention tourism, anything you want to say will be tautology. Because everything you are saying falls under tourism.
Education.
So why do people travel abroad? For education, for medical attention, for vacation, for employment, for marriage, for religious purpose, for entertainment, for sporting activity, for a cross-cultural awareness,
So what about business visa?
for business purposes, right? So you want to streamline them like this. Education, medical purposes, marriage, entertainment, sporting activity, religious purposes, for business, for employment, for cross-cultural awareness, and so many other things. You might also be
What
asked
was the last one? What?
cross-cultural awareness, cross and cultural awareness. Now, you might also be asked, do you enjoy traveling? Do you enjoy traveling?
Yes.
And that shouldn't be your answer. Yes, should not be your answer. Do you enjoy traveling? Sure, I do. I love
New
embarking on
experience.
trips a lot because I believe so much that traveling is the biggest form of education. As a matter of fact, 2 weeks ago I embarked on a trip. It was by road, although that was after a long time traveling by road. I actually did enjoy that trip because along the way I saw various communities, how they dress, I saw the level of development. I came across a location where festivals were being celebrated. Some children were putting on masks, on masquerades. It was quite entertaining to me. And I interacted with people that were on board the same bus with me. So you are creating a story. You see, yes, it shouldn't be your answer, right? You need to create a story. You need to keep talking. So you might also be asked, what type of, what's your dream or favorite color? What is your favorite color? In IELTS, what color is this?
Pink.
Pink.
Or pink? It's feminine color, right? So when you say you like peach or pink, or you say purple, all those colors will not give you much of speaking time. Because what do you want to say? I love pink. It makes me feel like a princess. It's more of feminine. And after that, what else? Nothing. Right? So you want to pick a color that will give you more things to talk about, even if it's not your real favorite color. So create more ideas when you speak. Then you might also
Such as which color?
outside any color that will just
That will
track you.
shorten your
Any color,
conversation.
outside any color that will just that would deprive or limit what you say. Then you might be also asked to talk about your dream house. Your dream house, you know, in Nigeria we talk about 1 room self-contained, 1 room self-contained. So you want to talk about penthouse, you want to talk about condos, you want to talk about studio, you want to talk about blocks of flats, you want to talk about... So use those standard description of accommodations. So pick one as your dream house. If it's going to be an automated house, you know what I mean by automated house? A house that you can use your voice commands to control. Light on, curtain slide. You know there are houses like that? So you talk about your dream house and where you want the dream house to be situated. Should it be at the countryside, on a hill, down the valley? Where? So you talk about all of that. Then you state why you prefer such house. Then, why do people spend time with their families? Why do people spend time with their families?
To create bonds.
For bonding. Please tell me, where are or how do people spend time with their families? How?
Going out on picnics.
Mm-hmm.
Vacations.
Mm-hmm.
Taking what's this English?
Picnics, vacation,
Yeah.
going to religious
Religious
facilities such as mosques, churches, and the likes,
experiencing different cultural festivals.
attending festivals, and so many others. Alright, so this is how part 1 can go. You will not be asked all these questions, but I'm just exposing you to various questions. You may get some of them, you may not get some of them. Just prepare your mind. The thing is, be open-minded and know the type of questions that may come. Be open-minded. So let's go to part 2. So here is focus on this. Focus on this only. Focus on this only. So let's go to part 2. For your part 2, you'll be given a paper like that called cue card. So that cue card is what you're going to speak on. The examiner will not engage you in questions and answers like part 1. The examiner will just give you your cue card and give you a small piece of paper. Now, please listen. The piece of paper you're going to be given after the cue card will be for you to make a little note. Draft out the points you are going to speak on. Can we remember this? You'll be given your cue card and you also have a piece of paper. This piece of paper that will be given to you would be for you to draft out your points, not to start writing story. Draft out your points. So what points are you drafting out? On the cue card, you will see something that says describe so and so and so, right? Mark, can you see that?
Yes, sir.
Then under it, it says you should say. You should say what? There are now like 4 bullet points. Who this actor is. Your own says who you visited. Yours says where the person works. This one says what kinds of films or movies he or she acts in. So you have this piece of paper right there. You have to write who you visited, the name only, or who the actor is, only the name. Nothing more.
For example, RMD.
I just write RMD, that's all. Who you visited, write Chike, that's all. Right? Where the person works, right? You write NMPC. Then what movie the person acts? Maybe horror film, maybe native doctor,
Comic film.
comic films.
So,
So-
comic film. Nothing long.
Don't write any other thing. So you are just bringing out the points only. They are not writing stories.
What do you know about the actor's life?
He is so original, he is professional, in his real life he is quite accommodating, just straight.
It's professionalism.
So write all of that, then, and this, you have to do this in 60 seconds. So you see why you don't need to write stories?
See why it's popular.
So after 60 seconds, the examiner will tell you, you may now begin. So for part 2, you speak for 2 minutes, uninterrupted. Only you.
No, so I want to say something else. So in this speaking exam, this part two now, you were like describing that, okay, actually like when I describe a time when you display a friend or a family member at their own place, okay? So now, if I want to write now, are they gonna give me are they going to give me a piece of paper to write it down, or
What I
That's what you just said.
I said you'll be given this and also a piece of paper. I dropped that on the board. And I said that piece of paper on the board is for you to
Write
jot the points
answer them.
that you're going to speak about.
You got that?
then the point I'm gonna suppose.
Yeah,
Yes.
he has not understand. Doesn't understand.
The points you are going to speak on. Who you visited. You write the name Chike. Where the person was, NMPC. Why you visited the person, surprise birthday party. How you felt after the visit, fulfilled. Chike, that's all. Then, when the examiner tells you, you may now begin to speak, you can pick this and hold it. And you begin to create a story. Some 10 years ago, I can still remember vividly, precisely on the 24th of August 2016 or 2015, I decided to take a bold step outside my personality, because I've always been this person who hardly socialize or mingle with people. I just enjoy my space. I'm introverted, so I am always within my shell. My friend had invited me severally to her office, but I refused. I turned down that invitation, but on that great day, on that particular day, I had to go. I didn't just go to visit my friend. I went to throw a surprise birthday.
So you are speaking based on the answer you gave on that card that was
Yes.
given to you back?
Yes.
Yes. So I had to throw a surprise birthday visit and party for my friend. I went to her office. She works at NNPC. Lest I forget, her name is actually Chike Augustine. I've answered 2 questions. The name and where the person was. But I'm still giving my story. So I went there. The security protocol was quite tight. Initially, I wasn't allowed to go in, but I actually explained to them what I had come to do. I even showed them the surprise birthday team with their band, with their trumpets, the birthday cake, and some other throw pillow design. So they actually eventually let me in. So when I got there, my friend's office is on the 4th floor. So I used the elevator. So upon getting to the 4th floor, immediately I tried to open the door, and behold, she was also trying to go down to get something. So on sighting me, she was dumbfounded, and I saw tears of joy as at that moment the surprise birthday team started blowing the trumpet and beating the drums, singing happy birthday songs. And the office was so surprised because she didn't even make it known to anyone that that day was her birthday. So with the surprise birthday I organized for her, the office had to join us to celebrate her. They sang birthday songs to her. They splashed some money on her, although they didn't plan for it. But they had to join me to make it memorable for her. So she was actually having some tears of joy. She was surprised that I could actually do that because she knew the type of person I was. So with that, She was really impressed. I myself was fulfilled. She took me on a tour around her office and introduced me to her colleagues and superiors. And at the end, we sat together in the office restaurant to have the cake being cut and distributed to her colleagues. We also took some photos, and it was quite amazing. I was really impressed with myself, and I knew that that memory would not erase anytime soon. So it was quite a great day for me. You see my story, right? It was really engaging, right? And I was also going to speak up to 2 minutes. So you need to build an interesting story that the examiner would be listening to and be interested in.
So it's 1-1 game. The day of speaking test.
Is what?
As in 1-1.
One.
As in
Yes, it's just you and the examiner only.
Okay.
Just you and the examiner. Right? So you create a good story, narrate the story while you respond to these questions. Don't pour the answers immediately because you might exhaust your answers in 40 seconds and you run out of points. So ensure you have a good story that would span for like 2 minutes minimum. Please. Create an
So, sir, are you
interesting
trying to tell me my own to have story behind it?
Yes, no. So you
Who the actor is? What kind of film does he act?
You create
Why
a
do you
story.
know? What do you know about his acting life and explain why he's popular?
You create.
So you create a story.
Create.
You might use anybody.
You.
You might use Zubi Michael. You might use RMD. You might use anyone with your Daniels. You might choose anybody. So create a story and narrate something that will cover the areas the cue card has given. And after that, your part 3, examiner would engage you in a couple of questions again, just like in part 1, question and answers. So that's what happens in part 3. Examiner would ask you a few questions again, and after that, that will be it.
Just pray they won't ask you the same question they have asked before.
That's why you need to always be conscious. Know what you say. Don't forget to.
I lie. Directly forget lie.
Well, if you call it lie.
Oh, I'll put it as imaginary stories.
So you're creating a fictional
You are
story.
creating a fictional
So you
story.
remember it
So
again.
you
They ask
remember
you.
it.
Right? So these are things you should work on in preparation for your speaking test. Please prepare for your speaking test. Your speaking test should give you your highest mark if you are confident enough. Make the best choice of words. Avoid repetitions. And ensure you are keeping eye contact with the examiner while you speak. That also shows your level of confidence. So please, this is it about IELTS speaking test. So we'll continue in our next class. See you in the next class.